Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request for Baja Vtuber. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it. Whether it be a topic, tier list, ranking, movie review, re-review, commentary, reaction, video game playthrough for an hour or full playthrough, streams, commentaries, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to them as soon as I possibly can. For those who sent them, thank you. I really do appreciate it. And this is for Transformers 1, a 2024 film that you have the voice actors Chris Hemsworth, of course from the Thor films, Tyree Henry, who voices eventually Megatron, Scarlett Johansson from the Black Widow films, Keegan-Michael Key from Key and Peele, he voices Bumblebee, Steve Buscemi from Fargo, among other stuff, he voices Starscream, Laurence Fishburne from the Matrix trilogy, among others, he voices one of the Prime, I forget his name because I'm bad with names. Anyway, you have a recognizable group of people. Jon Hamm, who I liked as an actor, he voices Sentinel Prime, who's the leader of the Autobots. And this is supposed to be act as a prequel, an origin movie, where we're on Cybertron. The entire movie takes place on there. There are no human characters in the movie. And it's about the younger days of Optimus Prime and Megatron, which they don't have those names yet. It's Orion Pax and D16, and how they're minors. I mean, like in a mine, not like minor, like they're too young, but minors, and they're not able to transform. They don't have the cods for it. You find out later as to why that's the case. And it's a story you've seen before, or you've heard before, where you have people in one group, and they see people there, and they want to go up there. Is there any way would you go up there? And they go on this journey, and they meet a couple other characters, and they get together, and then they find that things are not quite how they are. What seems like a great time in this era, there's some shenanigans going on behind the scenes, especially when they get to the surface of Cybertron, and they realize there's villains that they've been dealing with, the Quintessence, I believe is how you pronounce them. And things aren't really hunky-dory and pretty much go forward towards their destiny, so to speak. Because, I mean, you know, one's Optimus Prime, one's Megatron, they're going to eventually become them. And then obviously, you know, they're best friends, eventually they're going to split apart, and you find out how that occurs in this. Now, before I go on, I am not a Transformers aficionado. I'm not an expert. I had some of the toys back in the day. I did see the 80s animated film with Judd Nelson. I honestly don't like that film. I like some of the animation. I like the soundtrack, other than Dare to Be Stupid. I don't know why the hell that song's in there for that stupid scene. I'm like, that was just a stupid, Dare to Be Stupid. Like, really? Just did not fit at all. Dare, The Touch, which I think that was actually meant for the Stallone film Cobra, but it wasn't used. They put it in the Transformers. But it was made for Cobra. But I like the soundtrack. I like the story by Vince DiCola. I like some of the animation. I like some actors like Leonard Nimoy in there, but Optimus Prime, even I had seen bits and pieces of the cartoon, but not a lot of full episodes, so I knew of him. Peter Cullen voices him wonderfully. And man, he gets a badass scene, then they kill him off for some shithead named Hot Rod that I didn't give a fuck about Judd Nelson's character. I'm like, you got Optimus Prime killed. He's cooler than you. You can piss off. Now I hate you. And then you guys wander around after you kill most of the other characters because you want to wipe the slate clean so you can get more toys to sell to the boys out there. the young boys out there. That's why you did it for, and to me, that's not an enjoyable movie, at least to me, among other reasons. So I'm not big on that film like other people are. The Transformer films, live action, I just recently rewatched the first one. I don't hate that film. Overall, I would say I don't mind the film, but I do have issues with the film. That's easily the best of the live action. I think all the ones after them are pretty bad. And then you get to this one. Now, my thoughts on this. This has, without a doubt, one of the most god-awful marketing schemes in a long while. Because I honestly thought this was a pretty good movie. I did. I actually thought, not a flawless movie. I think there's issues in the first half, but by the time it gets to the second half, it hooked me in, and I thought, wow, it's like getting more and more serious, more and more dire circumstances. The action is ratcheting up. Optimus Prime has some really cool, badass moments, and they actually treat it respectfully, sincerely, serious. Because the way it was marketed, and you can't blame me for this, the way it was marketed, especially that first trailer, it looked like a comedy. A joke. Strictly for kids 5 to 10. And idea like kids were the proponent to sell your movie for back in the day. But so many decades have come and go, you can now have it for both. But it made it look like such a garbage fucking movie that's why a lot of people didn't go see it. Myself included. Now, are there flaws I have with it? Sure. I honestly would have preferred getting the voice actors from the cartoon, but you're not going to have them say this type of dialogue, which is more modern day dialogue, which took a bit of getting used to. Because I'm so used to seeing Transformers talk a certain way, more so like Optimus Prime. Him talking a certain way, Megatron, because I've, throughout the years, have seen more episodes, and they don't talk like, oh, that's so cool, and I never think Optimus Prime would be like, oh, my finger can transform, do you want to see? Now, he doesn't quite get there, but I never thought I'd hear Optimus Prime saying that. But I will admit, I did laugh at the joke. I can't lie about that. But they taught much more, again, modern sensibilities. Which, again, took a bit of getting used to. But at the same time, like, the more I got used to it, the more I didn't mind it, other than certain things. Again, part of me wishes it was Peter Cullen. Because the sad thing about Peter Cullen is he's such a great voice actor, but for the longest time it's like, oh, he's Optimus Prime, but then he's voicing those Michael Bay films where he's barely in it, or he takes a little bit of ass, but then he dies, or he does this and that. It's like, or he gets a little bit of badass moment, but then, you know, he gets his ass kicked a lot. And like this, like with how it's about him, and there's some dramatic moments, and it seems like there's a lot that could have been worked into it. And like Brian Tyree Henry, it took a bit of getting used to him voicing that character, but what I will say, what I liked about it is, as the movie went on, their voices became those characters. And I kind of understood what they were going for when you see the final product. You see them jovial, ongoing, back and forth dialogue where they're best friends and they're goofing on each other and much more innocent. And then it gets more serious and more dire circumstances. Chris Hemsworth's voice starts turning into Peter Cullen-like. Brian Tyree Henry starts talking much deeper and more intense, like Megatron would. I'm like, okay, like, I get it. There's a character arc. I didn't know you don't go that far, and I appreciate it. I thought it was pretty decently done. Now, Scarlett Johansson, she did what she could. She's the strong woman who is like good at everything and bitchy and punches stuff, and she's tougher than the others. Yeah, I'm not really big on that characterization of her. Keegan-Michael Key annoyed the piss out of me as Bumblebee. He's a comic relief. I don't know why you need a comic relief in this. Because the characters, even the leads, they throw comedy enough that you don't need a comic relief. But like Keegan-Michael Key, he was like some of the worst parts of the trailer, and he just annoyed the hell out of me. Like either not shutting up or, oh, I got knife hands. Look, oh, they're cool. I'm Badassatron. Oh, you're Badassatron. You could call me Badassatron. I'm gonna call you bitch. Bitch. Must feel bad that your buddy won a fucking Oscar while you're, doing films like The Predator and bullshit. But, like I said, I didn't like Keegan-Michael Key at all. I don't think Bumblebee needed to be this complete fucking doofus. But with all that said, with some of the issues I have, overall I did like this film. I thought this was pretty decent. Pretty good. If you like Transformers, I would definitely say give it a look, because especially the second half of the film, I was kind of surprised at how serious they took it. And again, Optimus has some badass moments. And moments of betrayal. And I get what they're going for, and I appreciate it. By the same, it felt more respectful. And I'm like, man, okay, I actually would like to see a sequel in this vein. I don't think they will, because I don't think this film... It disappointed the box office because, again, the marketing was so fucking garbage. It was such a horrendous marketing angle. Whoever did that should be fired. I'm not joking. I'm not kidding. I'm not being mean. You should be fired because you tainted the film. You did a terrible job marketing it. Because you made it look like a goofy, stupid kids film. So to get more into spoilers, starting now, spoilers. Like I said, we have this mining robot regime where Chris Hemsworth is Orion Pax, a mining robot that looked at this documentary Cybertron, and about how their source of energy, Energon, has been depleted. All the primes, the big leaders have disappeared. Like they seem to be dead, but they don't know what happened to them. They were kind of lied and told it was some other event that happened. And that they're doing fine and free, but they're told that certain robots are made without transformation codes, so since you can't do that, you mine for the Energon, which is their source of energy. The rest of us will go and do whatever because we can actually transform. And the leader is Sentinel Prime, again, voiced by Jon Hamm. He's not supposed to be in the archives. He's chased by these two guards. His best buddy, D16, Brian Tyree Henry, who later be Megatron, helps him out. And this shows their bond. He's given this decal, like a sticker, which is the Decepticon logo. Oh, that's so cool. I'll put it on here. I thought, okay, that's a bit goofy, but something happens later on that I'm okay, that was worth that whole bit. Which I'll get back to that. The leader of the mine is a supervisor named Elita, and that's Scarlett Johansson. Which, for Charter, she just plays tough bitchy mode. I'm a strong woman. But they're mining. There's a cave in. Our two leads save Jazz. They get him out of the cave. And they're yelled at. That's where, at this point, Orion says, "Oh, my finger can transform. You want to see?" I mean, I thought that was actually kind of funny. I did chuckle at that. So this race happens where all the actual Transformers can see who's the best. But more so, Chris Hemsworth gets his buddy to go along and let's do the race as well, but we'll use jetpacks. So they go through this race. This would have been I know it would have been nostalgic masturbation, however you want to put it. I kind of wish they put a song like Dare, which I think someone actually made that edit on YouTube. You know, dare to believe you can survive, as they're going through the race. I kind of wish they did that kind of thing. Because I actually want that soundtrack in the 80s movie. Because I'll say this, and this may piss people off. I liked this more than the 80s one. Because the 80s one I thought, like this one I liked the story more. I liked the development of the characters more. I liked how you really see this arc from kind of a more goofiness to when things get serious, the movie gets serious. Other than Keegan-Michael Key, which is my least favorite part of the movie. And again, I thought the third act especially was worth my time. But yeah, I do like that more than the 80s anime movie I never liked. So I did like this more. Because I think the characters and the story are a bit better for the most part. It's well animated. It's a good looking movie. Whether they're on the surface of Cybertron or just seeing how all the intricate pieces of Cybertron work. If they try to do this live action, which they did a bit at the beginning of Bumblebee, which that was one of the cool things about that. And part of me is like, man, if you did this as a live action film, people would want that, but it was cost too much money because everything would be green screen, everything would be CG. And they feel it'd be too much money. Because it's not just CG, but you have to make it look real, which would take even more time and money. So they join the race, they almost win. Now there are times, I'll just call him Megatron. Well, he helps and saves Optimus, but those are also times where Optimus will go back and help him. Like he could have won the race, but he goes back for his friend. But they lose, and while Sentinel Prime congratulates him, one of their bosses who they beat in the race just pisses at them and puts them into the job of garbage incineration. And that's where they meet Keegan-Michael Key, who will later be Bumblebee. Again, this annoying asshole who just... He's like used jump parts to make 3 friends who don't actually talk, but it's like... Even, I think one of them even asks, do they talk to you? Oh, no, of course not. He just really got on my nerves. But amongst those parts is a message, a beacon that shows, oh, this may be where the primes are at. Because the thing that's been lost is the matrix of leadership. By having that, maybe Energon will flow once again so you don't have to mine, and it would help their society fairly well. So ultimately they decide to go on this journey, so they gotta get to the surface. Along the way, Scarlett Johansson becomes a part of it. She wants to stop them, but ultimately they get on the surface. They gotta work together during this train ride. They decide to go find this thing. They ultimately do. I'm not going to go through every single detail. Some things happen, blah, blah, blah. They find the resting place of the Primes. They don't find the Matrix of Leadership, but they find the Primes, and they find one is still alive, which is Laurence Fishburne's character. And he lets them know on what's going on, which is Sentinel Prime was a traitor. He was full of shit. He's a betrayer. He screwed over the other Primes to work with the villains, the Quintessens, which, again, that shows how little I know about Transformers lore. Because, like, who the fuck are the Quintessens? So, yeah, I don't know much about the lore of who these creatures, these bad guys are. I almost want to see the movie about Chris Hemsworth and his team go and be in the shit out of these Quintessens and tell them get the fuck off, go the fuck home. But sadly, that scene was never going to happen now. Because the bullshit, stupid fucking marketing. So they're told about all the stuff they've been lied about. Again, Sentinel's a douchebag, betrayer, and asshole. Also, they were born with... They would have had cogs to transform, but they were purposely taken away. And then ultimately, Laurence Fishburne helps them get cogs, and then they can transform. And this is where you definitely see a bit more of the separation and the seriousness, where, of course, they're horrified of the situation. And you definitely see a change in Megatron, because he's been lied to his whole life. Megatron was actually the name of the Prime that was like his hero. And not only does he find that he was fucked over and killed, but Sentinel Prime took that guy's transformation cog. And also, I've been about being lied to their whole lives, and he trusted in the system. He's been lied to, and it's just an earth-shattering boggle that just... I wouldn't say slowly, but it eventually drives him crazy. Where it becomes more angry, more upset. I'm tired of leaders. I'm not going to trust anyone who's a Prime ever again. I'm saying, well, Laurence Fishburne is a Prime, and he's not lying to you. But it's like a leader you've been lied to your whole life. At one point, they're captured by Warbots, and Starscream by Steve Buscemi leads them. And Megatron gets pissed at him. They have a big fight. And he's actually the one that crushes Starscream's voice box, and that's why he starts sounding lighter like Starscream. I mean, okay, I see like where they're going. I see like he's getting more angry, and it's about like if you win, then they'll respect you more because you're using force. And you see like how Optimus is seeing how his friend is changing and putting two and two together. So I liked what they were doing. I liked that they actually were going through this story arc that, again, is not original. Two friends, one becomes a hero, one becomes an enemy. But I like that they put it with these characters. I thought that, as typical as that is of a plot story, that's the same fucking thing. It may be cliche, but I thought it worked well with these characters. Again, I like that they... I like that they took it serious enough to make it worth my time. Again, I was surprised because, again, I thought I was going to some goofy, stupid fucking comedy. And when the action happens, like when the bad guys come in and ultimately they take Starscream and Megatron and Bumblebee, Optimus is kicking ass and ramming his truck through, and he even tears one in half. Makes a plan with the remaining Warbots and gets the people in the mines who listen. You see that he's become more of a leader. You see how and why people will look up to him, and you see him becoming his role. Now, yes, well, of course, it's an origin story. Yeah, but a lot of times it can be done very haphazard, lazy, and jump the gun. I didn't think they did that too much in this. Like, it made more sense to me compared to others. And then, meanwhile, when Megatron and them are captured, remember that thing with the decal? Sentinel Prime is such a dick. He's messing with them. Oh, you like that, huh? Well, make sure you'll keep that on forever. And blow torches the damn thing into him. So he blow torches it, and Megatron is screaming in pain. So it's ripped off. It's seared right into his metal plate. I'm like, okay, that's actually a nice. What's the word I think of? Nice payoff to that decal thing. Oh, it is goofy and silly. Oh, okay, well, that was something meant well as innocent, and now, that's the result. So I'm like, oh, shit. And then you have the battle where they go in and everyone, they take care of the bad guys. They take care of Sentinel Prime's goons and other things. Optimus Prime's like kicking all sorts of ass while Megatron's trying to fight Sentinel Prime, and Scarlett Johansson is trying to fight. I forget what the evil robot was. She had like all these like things like try to stab the shit out of you and stuff. I forget what her name was. Through some circumstances, Megatron's ready to kill Sentinel Prime, and of course Optimus is like, listen, we gotta be better than them. Because he's, become the Optimus that we would know and love. The guy that... I know they changed that for the Michael Bay films, where he was a bit more willing to kill. So I guess it depends, like... Although, to be fair, I mean, there are points he's, like, killing and ripping things in half. But I guess in this moment, like, it's in front of everybody, and it's like, hey, we need to prove that we could be better than them. And, show the world, like, what kind of people or what kind of robots can we really be. But then he takes the hit, and you see at first Megatron's like, why'd you do that? So at first his guilt, and then he turns and is like, I'm done saving you, and lets him go. And he's like, ooh, shit. That turn. And he become Anakin Skywalker. He's turned to the dark side fully. And at the end, the way it's edited, where you see, like, he's now fully Megatron, and he's, like, fighting the others, and doing all this stuff, going to kill Sentinel Prime, going to kill and attack Bumblebee and Scarlett Johansson, while Optimus has fallen, and then because of his good deed, because of what he believed in, he earns the matrix of leadership and becomes the full Optimus Prime, the full look. And he comes in and he's taking on everybody. He's beating the shit out of Megatron, Starscream, Soundwave, all these people. He even gets this like axe thing that comes out and like taking them all out. Just a rousing fuck yeah moment if you're an Optimus Prime fan. It's like, yeah, that's why he's fucking badass. Why couldn't it be that in the 80s movie? Optimus Prime having this, like, he has like one cool moment at the beginning, then he dies. Like, why can't you, like, come on, why? And pretty much you guys are banned. You're get the fuck out of here, pretty much. And then where you definitely see that divide. Just now they're going to go off and do whatever the hell, while energon is now flowing through their society, and part of the goal at hand is to deal with those quintessence if they come back. But I did. I was pleasantly surprised. Like I said, I thought the film was better than I thought it would be. Like I said, part of me wishes they would have gone a bit more of the other old school voice actors, but again, they want to portray characters with a bit more maybe a modern sounding dialogue. So I'm not sure how people will feel about that. Like Scarlett Johansson, especially Keegan-Michael Key, I thought they were the weaker ones. The others I thought handled themselves better, and yeah, I got used to. Yeah, the action was fun. The animation was nice to look at, and overall, I liked it. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. I mean, if you got this far, I don't know what else to say other than film I was better than I thought it would be. That goes to show you, if you get awful as hell marketing, that'll kill something, man. It really will kill something. So, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.